This is the tale of Tom Dooley, the mountains, and the time. To understand Tom Dooley, you got to understand where and when this happened. It was post Civil War in the Appalachian. Men came home broken, poor, and restless. Law, it was local. Justice was personal. And reputation mattered more than paperwork. Now, in Wilkes County and Caldwell County, North Carolina, it was tight knit. Everybody knew your name, your people, and your business, whether you wanted them to or not. And in a place like that, secrets don't stay buried. Now let's get into who Tom Dooley was. Now he was originally named Tom C. Dula, and he wasn't just some wandering outlaw. He was educated for his time, a Confederate veteran, quiet, observant, and magnetic. Women, they noticed him. Men, they watched him. Tom had that dangerous mix of charm and silence, the kind that makes people project onto you and want and what they want to believe. Now, Tom, he was dangerous mix of charm and silence, the kind that makes people project onto you what they want to believe. And belief can be deadly. Now, Laura Foster, she's more than a victim. Laura, she wasn't naive. She was young, yes, but strong willed, had opinions, outspoken, and already pushing against the rules of her time. She was engaged to another man, yet tangled up with Tom. Letters were exchanged, promises hinted at. And in those mountains, a woman's reputation, it was worth more than gold and just as fragile. Laura was rumored to be pregnant. That rumor alone, it could ruin lives. And when lives were cornered, deception steps in. Now, another young woman named Anne Melton, she's the shadow in the story. And this is where the story, it gets complicated. Anne Melton was older, married, and she had her own scandal tied to Tom. Some historians believe Anne was desperately jealous of Laura. Others believe she feared Laura and would expose secrets that could destroy her marriage and her standing. And she testified against Tom. Her own words carried weight. But here's the thing folks still whisper about. Anne was never charged. Her timeline was questionable, and some believe she knew where Laura was headed that day. In the mountains, justice, it was the loudest voice, and it often wins. On the day that Laura disappeared, she left her home saying she was going to go meet Tom. That part is mostly agreed upon. So what happened later? This is where the fog, it begins to roll in. She was stabbed and buried in a shallow grave. Her body was found weeks later. There was no eyewitness, no confession, just circumstances and silence. Old Tom died, guilt or fear. Tom fled to Tennessee. Now, some say only a guilty man runs, but others argue in those days, running, it was surviving, especially when public opinion had already convicted you. Tom, now he was caught, returned, and placed in a courtroom, already heavily in judgment. And the trial, was it justice or necessary? The trial, it wasn't clean at all. Evidence was thin, testimony conflicted, and Melton's role was never fully examined. But the county wanted closure. The community wanted peace. And old Tom, he became the answer. He was convicted swiftly. The gallows, where the legend begins. Tom's execution wasn't chaotic. It was quiet. They seemed to have dressed him neatly. He spoke calmly and never admitted guilt. Those final words, whether true or to fight, turned a condemned man into a folklore. And that's where the song took over. The song versus the man. The ballad signifies everything. It didn't mention Anne. It didn't mention doubt. It mentioned the gray areas. Songs like Clean Ending. History rarely provides them. Why this story still matters? Tom Dula's story survives because it hits nerves where we still feel today. The trial was by public opinion. Complicated relationships, women with limited power, men who are judged by reputation rather than proof. And the biggest question of all, what if the truth died before the rope dropped? Tom Dooley may have been found guilty. He may have been a scapegoat. He may have been something in between. But the mountains don't tell stories to clear names. They tell stories so we remember what happened when silence, jealousy, and fear collide. And once a story like that gets a song, it never, never stops. So if you ever get a chance, listen to the song of Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley. It's a country, well, not really. Well, it's a folklore, and it has been done by many musicians singing the story of Tom Dooley. Tom Dooley, Hang Down Your Head and Cry.